Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because we have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to.
Senate Leader Chuck Schumer of the Democratic Party openly admitting to what we have already discussed here on this channel, and that of the white demographic decline. Okay, we're not here to beat a dead horse, because we actually want to put this in connection with their intention behind what is commonly called illegal immigration, not immigration. We have no qualms with immigration as it is done through many people that now live in this country of America, or people who live abroad. We're not talking about immigration. We're talking about illegal immigration, and to be specific, the means in which illegal immigration is being used by the Democratic Party. This party is not far from genocide. Genocide is not far from this party. They are the ones that introduced the Ku Klux Klan into society with legal immunity from the law, allowing the black community to be hunted down during the Reconstruction time period to a tune of, or turning down their demographic by about 35 to 40% over a 100-year time period. Okay, that's what they have done. They're responsible for introducing abortion into the black community. When we talk about genocide, we're talking about the Democratic Party. But now, in this 2020 cycle, you see this same party using genocide not just against the black community, but against the other Americans also, primarily that of the white community. Why do you say that, Barr? Because here on the Barr Report, we're making it very clear. I am no Republican. I am no Democrat. I am independent. But I am going to give you the juice. I'm going to give it down. I'm going to give it to you straightforward, no chase. And it's very clear. When the Republicans saw that the white demographic was on the decline, their reply to it was, we're going to systematically slow down abortion, because they know that abortion was originally created for the black woman and the black community, and to keep that community's demographics stagnant. That's what they know. That's what they all know, the left wing and the right wing. But the right wing acknowledges that it has spread out, and it has ill affected the white community. And in doing so, their response to the white demographic decline, which Chuck Schumer is just talking about right here, the Republicans' party reply to that was, we're going to, as I said, systematically slow down abortion by reversing Roe v. Wade. And truth be told, it's pretty logical, because if I am for America and I want Americans to live, I'm going to try to mend traditional families and begin to stay away from promiscuous lifestyles which are leading to these abortions, okay? And taking the baby out of the womb. So this is one thing that we're looking at. So the Republican Party tried to put a Band-Aid, and let me be clear, not for the black community. No. For the white community. They tried to put, and I'm not faulting them for that, but that's what happened. They're trying to put a Band-Aid on the white demographic decline through the reversal of Roe v. Wade. And as I said before, I have really no problem with that. It's pretty logical. But here comes the deviousness. More so than the Republicans. Here comes the insidiousness, more so than the Republicans. Here comes the devilment, more so than the Republicans. And I will remind you, you will not put me into a wall or into a corner saying he's a Democrat, he's a Republican. I am neither, because I acknowledge that the left wing and the right wing are of the same bird. Now let me continue. The The Democratic Party, their reply, their response to the white demographic decline, as he just got done saying, it is not trying to slow down abortion, replenish the white demographic's population, try to mend broken families. No, sir. No, ma'am. The Democratic Party's reply to the white demographic decline is simple: illegal immigration. We will simply replace them. We will bring in a cheaper labor force, younger and cheaper, and they will be the workforce for the elites of America. Not all white people are of that class of the elites. You have poor whites and you have middle class whites and rich whites. We're talking about the illegal immigrants serving the rich whites of America. Okay? Oh, but that's not all, family. I'm not even halfway done. I'm not even halfway done. Because that's only just one bird. That's just one bird that they're attacking with that one stone. They're actually killing 2 or 3 birds with one stone. They're attacking 2 or 3 peoples with one policy, with this particular bill, this immigration bill. Okay? And so what they are doing, we discussed what they're doing to the white community, but now let's take a look on the flip side as to what they are doing to the black community through the means of illegal immigration. On the white side, they're trying to replace them. On the black side, they're trying to disintegrate them. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. They're trying to disintegrate the little bit of resources that they have in their communities. See, what must be understood is that asylum seeking in America is down, but it is somehow up in the cities dominated with black people, like the Chicagos, like the New Yorks. And they are using illegal immigration to begin to disintegrate and annihilate and to gentrify the black community in the LAs, in the Chicagos, in the New Yorks. Okay? And that's what's going on. The Democrats are using illegal immigration to attack 2 people with one stone. One method is to replace, the other is to disintegrate. Let me continue.
Ethics, or the law that requires New York City to provide housing for migrants. The cost to do so is staggering. New numbers out tonight by the city reveal just how costly it is, to the tune of $1.4 billion. And by next year, that figure is expected to double. Safan Kim takes a deeper dive into the numbers. He's live outside the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown.
This 38-year-old Venezuelan migrant says this cardboard box is both his shade and his bed. And along with the clothes on his back, it's everything he owns. Sleeping outside the Roosevelt Hotel in Midtown since Saturday, he says he's desperate to find work. Any work. He's among the migrants who have been sleeping on the street for several nights, waiting to get processed. This was the scene this morning. Today, they received wraps, chips, bananas, and water, although it's unclear who is providing it. The mayor's office estimates asylum seekers will cost the city $1.4 billion this year, $2.8 billion next year. An Eyewitness News estimate finds more than $800 million has already been spent so far on housing and servicing contracts. 93,000 migrants have arrived in the city, with 50,000 currently in the city's care. It's costing the city about $16,000 per migrant.
His right to work. We need to allow people to work. There's nothing more anti-American than you can't work.
That clearly is not true. That clearly is not true. There are more anti-American sentiments than not allowing someone to work. For example, forcing them out of their homes in the middle of an eviction crisis. For example, by ushering in another and new people to replace the old ones, whom you see as demographically decaying, and to replace the other group of people who you see as a nuisance or a troubled people. Are you following me? How anti-American can you be more than one who practices or is subscribing to the tenets of genocide? I see the white demographic. I'm speaking as a Democrat. I am not a Democrat. I'm speaking as a Democratic leader. I see the white demographic on the decline. I see they have the oldest population on earth. I see that their labor force is dying off to keep the American corporation going and flowing. What's my solution to this problem? Replace them. I see Black America. Once again, I'm speaking as a Democratic leader. I am not. I'm speaking hypothetically. I see Black America as a troubled nation, a doomed people. One that needs to be guided at all times like children. And incapable of thinking for themselves. And how do I solve that problem? Once again, through a purging of illegal immigrants. The little bit of resources that the Black community has, I'm going to take that and replace it. And I'm going to go further, because what I'm going to now do, I'm going to allow these illegal immigrants, who I'm politely call migrants, I'm going to allow these illegal immigrants to have authority over the American citizens. I'm going to give them the ability to be police officers according to the bill which was passed. I'm going to give them the authority to be police officers over the American citizens. So now when they arrest them, prosecute them, sentence them, kill them, now they'll have a clear opportunity to replace them. And why will we allow them, the immigrants, illegal ones that is, to replace the American citizens or some of the American citizens? For economic purposes, for work, for cheap labor. That's why. And then when an elderly white woman called Mayor Adams out, he tried to divert the people's attention by introducing the topic of race or racism, saying that she was pointing to him as if he was on a plantation.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the rent guidelines. The fact of the matter is that it's not small landlords, it's big landlords. That they're the main ones. We're not talking about the little tiny landlord. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the rent guidelines board. If you said before and after that you supported those rent increases, in Nassau they had a 0% rent increase. Why in New York City, where the real estate is controlling you, Mr. Mayor, why are we having these horrible rent increases?
Legit and some serious questions, because when you compound what she is saying or combine what she is questioning the mayor on in conjunction with this illegal immigration and the bills which are being passed to bring them in, to purge and to replace. Now you look at this situation, you have to look at the situation a little bit different. What she is saying, let's rewind, let's take a look back. Because she is speaking some very sound facts here and some very sound wisdom, okay? And she's been around the block. You can tell she's been around the block because she knows exactly what she's talking about. This is what she said.
Small landlords, it's big landlords.
She said, not small landlords. You see that? Not small landlords. It's the big landlords. They're the main ones. She's spot on. She's spot on, exact right.
They're the main ones. We're not talking about the little tiny landlord. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the rent guidelines board. If you said before and after that you supported those rent increases, in Nassau they had a 0% rent increase. Why in New York City, where the real estate is controlling you, Mr. Mayor, why are we having these?
See that? The real estate is controlling Mr. Mayor. Those that control and have access to the money, they're controlling Mr. President and Mr. Governor. And they're not controlling it directly from that of the right side. We have proof of this because there was a president on that right side who was screaming out at the top of his loud lungs, build a wall. And that build the wall statement was in conflict with illegal immigration. These are facts. And then so now, as we said, we take a look at the American people going through a housing crisis and combine that with an illegal immigration crisis, now we begin to understand who is working this and to what intention or to what end are they working it. So she's asking some very clear questions. If Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson was alive, they would give her a round of applause and even Frederick Douglass would give her a round of applause because they know she's getting to the heart of the matter. When the Civil War jumped off, Abraham Lincoln clearly stated, I got two great enemies. I got two foes. I got the chattel, racist, plantation owners of the South in front of me, and behind me, I have the international financiers who have access to the money, who can control the financial resources. It was another president that came after Lincoln. He gave fair warning to the American people. He said, please do not allow the bankers to control the markets. Please don't let the bankers get in control, because if they do, your children are going to be homeless. This is what we're seeing right now after this 2020 time period. The bankers are now in control. In control of what? The real estate is in control of the mayor, the governor, and the president. Well, some of them, if you will.
Last year and this year.
Okay, first, if you're going to ask a question, don't point at me and don't be disrespectful to me. I'm the mayor of this city, and treat me with the respect I deserve to be treated. I'm speaking to you as an adult. Don't stand in front like you treated someone that's on the plantation that you own.
That is shameful. That is outright shameful. And it's almost sickening and disgusting. You try to use racism, which is a real socio-economic, political, generational, ancestral force. And we made mention, you can go to my page, take a look at the Kerner Commission report. I never run from the topic of racism in this country because it is a most real topic. But at the same time, you have political parties such as the Democrats who will use the topic of racism as a distraction because they lack policy. They will use racism as a distraction to disguise and to hide their evil intention. Because he asked the question, what's more anti-American than not allowing someone to work? How about coerced work through slave labor? Or I'll do you one better. How about genocide on the white and black side?
On racial equity, this country is doomed. This country is doomed. Progress. On racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
We're going to close out on the president's words right there. You heard him. I mean, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, they confirm exactly what I have just reported. Their intentions and their addressing of the white demographic decline as it's projected to go down further by 2040, and the group whom they see as a despised people, a despised quote-unquote minority, is doomed, not just because of African Americans. When it comes to racial equality, as he did, let's be very clear and let's be very fair, he did not say it was just doomed because of black Americans. He's saying regarding racial equality, America is doomed, not just because of this despised minority, but also because of the white demographic decline. They have echoed the very sentiments which I have spoken on this channel. Excuse me, reverse that. I echoed the sentiments in which they spoke, in which they practiced here on this channel. I'm just giving you the juice. Okay? And that's the Biden administration. That was Chuck Schumer, Senate Leader Chuck Schumer. That was President Joe Biden. And that was the mayor of governor as to where the illegal immigration is being heavily concentrated at there in Chicago. Primarily. There are other areas as well, but those are the two primary ones, and that's what's going on in America. And we'll finish up, and then you can hear the words of Joe Biden one last time, and then we are done for the day. Continue to share the information, like the information, comment. Please give me your opinion. Tell me how you feel about what is being said. But these are the receipts. We will go further into detail on this topic in illegal immigration to put it on notice as soon as possible. And we want to notify you as to who is working the replacement and the disintegration of America. And he wants to ask what's more anti-American than allowing people to work. I clearly state genocide. Genocide. It's a genocide. Genocide is more anti-American when you conspire to kill the people, replace them, and take away their homes and their tax-paying dollars.
On racial equity, this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do in terms of raw numbers.